book out Race to Win, and not only about being successful in a career, but it's very good about having a successful life, worth checking out. I want to talk about, obviously, Pontiac, Chevy, the body type you think will all look the same next year, but they've made some spoiler adjustments to help Pontiac after some complaining. Darryl, is this a good thing?
Here's what I don't understand. Now, we started off the season, and I didn't hear any complaining from the Pontiac crowd. They were Daytona running good. Tony was. Tony wins Atlanta. Bobby wins Martinsville. I don't hear any complaining. And all of a sudden, what happened? All of a sudden, they said, hey, we're not competitive. We can't even keep up. Now, did everybody get that much better, or did they start playing that old political game? I think the answer, we'll find out the answer today, see how these cats run with the help they got.
Jeff, as a NASCAR, just trying to eliminate having to make changes when people complain a lot.
Well, they're trying to make this thing where they got a level playing field for everybody, and they felt like the Pontiacs were kind of getting out in left field. And again, the guy who goes up in that big red trailer and does the most complaining will get an adjustment. We've already seen it.
Darryl never did that, right, in his racing.
Well, the squeaking wheel gets the grease. In this case, it's going to get replaced.
Eventually. Speaking of squeaking, all right, time for our singular. You make the call. VW in the lead. Jeff Hammond trailing in the standings.
And pulling away, I might add.
And you go to foxsports.com and type in keyword singular for your chance to make the call. We only have a few races left in our season, so DW, you're pretty much going to lock us up. Who do you like today?
Well, I like Bill Elliott today. This is Bill's track, and the way he ran last week and the way he ran at Dover. Bill, you got to do it for me. Awesome, Bill. Come on, baby.
All right, Jeff.
You're going to need some help because this thing's a long ways from being over.
400 miles.
And I believe the man who's right now got big momentum behind him, Dale Jarrett, can help me get out of my hole.
All right, Larry.
Well, I'm going with the guy that has 2 wins this year, and he brought the same car here that he won Fontana with. I'm going with the young gun, Jimmy Johnson. Chris, you talked about this race being unpredictable. 6 winners in the last 6 races. How about the last 4 races? All 4 manufacturers has a win.
All right, thanks, Larry. And a happy Father's Day to you. You know, the Hollywood Hotel, we got a letter from Brandy Hickman. She sent this note for her dad. It's his birthday, Jim Hickman from Ohio, and also a big race fan who's here wishing him a happy Father's Day. But she FedExed this to the Hollywood Hotel, no address, and somehow it was delivered.
Everybody knows about the hotel, I'm telling you.
All right, well, Darryl has to leave the Hollywood Hotel. Up to the broadcast.
Happy Father's Day to everybody, and let's have a great race today.
All right, have fun. We'll talk to you. Look forward to your comments throughout the race. As we get ready for the race to get a little closer, there are a couple of the competitors, and we'll be back with a special Father's Day tribute.
Welcome back to the Singular Pre-Race Show.
At tonight's Sirius Satellite Radio 400 is race number 15 out of 36 of the season, and since the second week of the racing season, Sterling Marlin has been the points leader and has hung on. His win here at Michigan last August, his first on this track in more than 30 races. Today he needed a provisional to make the field. He starts at the back of the pack, but certainly a guy who can charge to the front. And Sterling, a couple of weeks away from his 45th birthday, still searching for that first ever points championship, being challenged by rookie Jimmy Johnson. Jeff Gordon has yet to win this year, but you see he's in pretty good position. He's the defending champ here. As for the current points leader, he's standing by with our Dick Berggren. Dick?
And that win that Sterling Marlin earned here last August was so big. It was the first for Dodge in their comeback to NASCAR. But this weekend has been a big struggle. They've not run well. They qualified poorly. Then after qualifying, they had engine trouble. They'd have to move a few positions back in the start of this race. What's going on, man?
Just a few minor problems. It's a different car we had here, got here now than we had last year, and just hadn't hit it good. I think the track's changed a little bit, and different body style, some of the stuff they're doing on chassis, and they've got passes here a little bit, but we made a few changes this morning. Had changed motors, so we got to go to the rear, and hopefully to drive good. It drove pretty good yesterday. We just wasn't fast, and hopefully the motor was holding us back. We found a bad lifter in it this morning, yesterday evening, so hopefully we get the Coors Ridge Dodge up front.
Remember Darlington? They changed an engine there. He started in the back and won the race.
All right, thanks, Dick and Sterling. And, you know, you never want to be too far back. As we near the halfway point, couple more races, is it okay to be a little bit off the lead and be someone chasing Sterling, or is it better to be in that lead?
Well, past experience has always taught me it's better to be in a situation. I like the idea of chasing somebody. Never had much success being out front. We got out front, we always got in trouble, fell back, and we're always able to reel these guys in and win a lot of championships from coming from behind. You got to realize one thing. Sterling is racing everybody. He's trying to keep everybody down. But on the other hand, all the other competitors are racing just to get in front of Sterling Marlin. So he's the guy that everybody's gunning for. If they can get in front of him, they can pick up points. They pick up points to get back in his Winston Cup championship. So by mid-season, a lot of this area is going to start to change. He's either got a safety up or he's got to realize whatever it took to get him there, he's got to go back and basically go to the whip. He's got to go for that home stretch.
All right, and speaking of veterans, like Sterling, Bill Elliott trying to crack the top 10 in points. Currently, he's 11th. He really owns this track, though, having won here 7 times, the most of any active driver. As you look at the impressive numbers in the top 10 as well, and on the pole in the past, Bill Elliott is standing by with our Matt Yoakum.
Well, Chris, he may be a veteran in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, but last night, Bill Elliott, you looked like a young gun. You had a little bit of soul there.
Well, you know, whenever y'all videotaped me and Ray, I think I'm going to end up buying that back at some point in time. How much is that going to cost me?
We can work something out. Maybe you're riding your dirt car. Let me drive your dirt car or something. But you're ready for Club E.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. Jim Belushi and Dan Aykroyd put on a great show. We had a lot of fun last night, all the groups that performed, and just a part of what NASCAR does now.
Now, you scored your first top 5 of the season back at California, 4th. The racetracks are similar in a way. Did you go back to your California notes for Michigan?
We did a little bit, but this racetrack is still, you know, I can come here and run pretty well. And I went to California every time prior to this last one. I hadn't run that well. And this race, we did run well. But now we're trying to cross between the two. What we had at California and what we've had here in the past. We'll just have to flip the coin and see what happens.
You first came here to Michigan in the Irish Hills in 1976, and you've seen this racetrack grow. Are you amazed at the number of fans as you look up and see them up in the race stands?
You know, this sport blows me away. Every week I come to these deals, and there's more and more people, more and more fans show up. And I don't know where they come from, but man, they support this through thick and thin, and we appreciate everything they do.
Now, the biggest question of the day, Little Chase, your dad is 3rd on the all-time win list here. How many wins does he have?
7.
And hopefully today, at the end of the day, he'll have
another win.
Another win. There you go. He'll be going for number 8. Chris?
All right, thanks very much. As you get a look at Bill Elliott stepping out of the car, signing autographs for the fans here, and with Jeff Hammond in the Hollywood Hotel. Jimmy Johnson, 2 wins in his last 5 races, hasn't driven like a rookie, certainly. Jeff Gordon is in the points race, hasn't won a race yet this year. What do you expect out of those 2 on this track today?
I expect these 2 guys right here to be a factor today for sure. You know, Jimmy Johnson was so good at California. Jeff Gordon knows how to win here at Michigan. And everybody keeps saying that Jimmy Johnson's a rookie. I'm just saying right now, he's not a rookie. He may be in his rookie year, but this guy right here has got a lot of basically natural instincts, and he's got a great teacher in Jeff Gordon. So these guys are going to be, you know, factors today, and I think they'll probably wind up working together to get to the front.
Yeah, some of the setups, the younger guys, the rookies, they took more chances, and now the veterans are looking at their notes or what they're doing and saying, hey, we ought to try that.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're pushing these guys. They're driving them harder, making for better racing, I think.
Jeff Gordon trying to end a streak of 22 races without a victory. Of all the drivers in this race on Father's Day, the emotional favorite would have to be Kyle Petty. Kyle's dad, Richard Petty, his grandfather, Lee Petty, have both been champions. They're still great contributors to NASCAR. And as good as the sport has been to the Petty family, it's also caused them great heartache. None of us have forgotten that Kyle's oldest son, Adam, lost his life in a race car just over 2 years ago. Steve Burns joins us now with a look at how Kyle and his family have responded to the loss.
It is a parent's worst nightmare. And so, following Adam's death at age 19, it would have been understandable if Kyle Petty turned his back on this sport. But that was not the case, and it is why, near his home in Randleman, North Carolina, a father's love continues to shine.
All in the tree line that you see right along through here, there'll be 2 rows of cabins, 16 cabins, that'll accommodate 125 kids for 8 week-long sessions.
It's once again full speed ahead for Kyle and his wife Patty Petty's year-round free camp for seriously ill children.
And we said, hey, why don't we build a camp in North Carolina? And about that time, then Adam's accident happened, so we put everything on hold.
There's a saying, if you live life long enough, life will break your heart. But life also goes on, and after only a short time off to mourn Adam's death, Kyle returned to racing, but now he was driving Adam's car.
How did you go on?
You know, you look around here where we're building the camp, and as you drive into the community, it's a farm community. If something happened on a family farm, they didn't shut down the family farm and move to the city. They didn't change what they did. They continued on. And that's the same way for us. We're just a little bit more public.
As Kyle's career resumed, so too did work on the camp.
This is a wonderful way, you know, to honor Adam.
he was all about smiles. He was all about having fun. He loved children. So when we get here and we actually see these children smiling and having fun, I think that it'll make a little more sense how to lose an Adam.
There are words to describe our status: married, widowed, divorced, but there is no one word to describe a parent who has lost a child. How would you describe it?
I feel like that when I walk in a room that I have death with me, which is hard to handle sometimes. We were devastated in a lot of ways, but when you begin to analyze what your life was with Adam, the word that best describes us now is blessed, to have had him come through our life and to have had him for 19 years.
What's going to be right there?
On this end of the camp and on this end of the property, is where Adam's race shop will go, to allow kids to understand what Winston Cup racing is a little bit. And it was a special way to remember Adam.
This will be the racetrack?
This is the racetrack, right here. The racetrack was a perfect theme to keep all the buildings in one place so kids didn't have to walk too far from place to place.
But racing families do go from place to place, so Father's Day finds the Pettys at the track.
Patty, what will you get Kyle for Father's Day?
Unfortunately, we all have to ask him for the money to buy himself a present. So I don't think we're ever able to really surprise him.
Mother's Day is big, not Father's Day. I saw a thing the other day where it said on Father's Day that more collect phone calls were made on Father's Day than any other day, and I'm thinking, they call their mother and they pay for it, but they won't pay for their Father's Day call. They have to call collect.
Well, that Kyle is holding is the 4th generation Petty. That's Adam Kyle Petty, and we'll see him here in the Daytona 500 sometime in the future.
The poet Robert Frost has a line that says, happiness makes up in height what it lacks in length. Does that make sense to you?
It does, because the spikes of happiness, the joy that you have over, over this camp, over seeing this camp be built, to be able to build a camp like this brings me great happiness. And I hope that in this case that not only the height of the happiness, but the length of the happiness lasts a long time.
NASCAR on Fox welcomes you to the Irish Hills of Michigan, Michigan International Speedway. This high-bank 2-mile oval is packed with 160,000 Father's Day fans to see NASCAR Winston Cup racing on Fox. Presented by Circuit City. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Michigan. Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, and 3-time Winston Cup champ Darrell Waltrip. Happy Father's Day. Darrell, 33 races you've led here, and that tops the record book. How important is it to lead here?
Well, let's see, I think only won twice here, so, leading a lot of laps here is not the big deal. The thing that's good is get yourself in a position to win. You do it with a number of things: a good handling car, or fuel mileage, or just having the horsepower to get it done.
But I have to play a role in that, and it's not all about fuel mileage here. I mean, there's so much on a crew chief's shoulders. This is one of those places where at the end of the race, you can get by with 2 tires. You can get by with 4 tires. If that's not enough to worry about, remember, 2 of the last 4 races here have been rain shortened. Rain clouds are in the area.
No. And big news this week, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has announced his retirement. He told Winston Cup scene, I'm going to drive until I'm 40. That's 2015, and I'm all done.
Well, hope I'm here to see it.
Matt Yoakum.
Well, Mike, Ricky Craven enters Michigan 13th in points. Over the past 4 races, he's kind of hit a momentum streak. His average finish is 8th. He chose, though, not to bring back the same race car that he won the pole and finished 2nd here back in August. He qualified 8th. Today in a car that debuted back at Charlotte, has scored a 3rd-place finish. Their cycle